local woman has mysteriously gone missing.
For the first time ever, step inside the mind of an interrogator.
It's a chess game. You're always thinking 2 or 3 moves ahead.
From the network that brought you 60 days in comes an unprecedented look.
Where is she?
Inside the room where every moment matters.
3 minutes and he's already lied.
You're involved in this.
This is your life on the line.
Don't miss the groundbreaking new series, Interrogation Raw.
Hello and thanks for joining us for the Midday News. International schools around the country have been commended for supporting the development of PNG for the last 48 years, providing quality education and contributing to the human resource development of this country. Prime Minister James Marape expressed his appreciation during the 48th Independence Anniversary celebration held at Koroboro International School on Thursday. He praised Koroboro International School for standing out as a shining example among educational institutions, setting a high standard for the delivery of quality education. Marape also acknowledged the sacrifices made by parents of IEA students to ensure their children are well educated. A main road will be built from Wayne to Erap past Boana to Nabak and connecting to Finsafen Road. Prime Minister James Marape made this commitment under the Connect PNG program. He told locals who had gathered at Boana Station on Thursday to witness the launch of their 5-year development plan that funding will be made available starting next year to link Nawab to Finsafen and Ley. Access roads in the local level government areas will be the responsibility of the district MP, while other provincial roads fall under the jurisdiction of the Morobe provincial government.
Today, as people speak, people are running road by Golong Finsapen. As soon as I'm tablo Pindiu, not by Brook one tablo mountain, go bring him talk to me, connect him in again, online on tablo Kabum, and not Labaron Guran on Nabis. Kamarlo Pindiu, na Kamarlo Finsapen.
Different government sectors and constituencies of the autonomous region of Bougainville have been provided more than 2 million kina in funding support upon request. Minister for Bougainville Affairs Manasseh Makiba will be traveling to Buka today to present a total of 2,050,000 kina coinciding with PNG's 48th independence anniversary. A larger portion of the money will go towards disaster relief, assistance accounting for 1 million kina. The remaining will be distributed to 4 different constituencies and 1 church group to help support their aspirations. Kanda International Insurance Brokers, the so-called flag carrier and one of the oldest nationally owned insurance brokers, was established in 2003. It recently celebrated 20 years of operation in the country. Kanda believes a true international company is to not be biased, but employ people from all regions, including expatriates.
Back in the early 2000s, it was challenging for nationals to own businesses for various reasons. However, the determination of Kanda International Insurance Brokers is what makes it a flag carrier and one of the oldest nationally owned insurance brokers. This year, Kanda celebrates its 20th milestone of operation in the country. Company Director and CEO for Kanda International Insurance Brokers, Ben Tiki, expressed gratitude to all staff, partners, suppliers and customers for their support towards the company. He added that customers needed to be well taken care of and treated well.
2003, when the opportunity presented itself, I took
I took it leaving my comfort zone, where I was employed in the industry. I was determined to take the challenge, as I strongly believe that it was possible to set up a company, a reputable company like Kanda that we are today.
Tiki added that he couldn't have done it himself. No company, entrepreneur, or individuals can achieve things in life without support.
Kanda International employs people from throughout the country. It is a policy that we do not try to have certain employ people from certain group. We want to spread it out as possible. And the same, if we bring in expatriates too, we would like people from different regions to work together. And then it's a truly international company.
Kanda is licensed as a general insurance broker by the government under the Insurance Act 1995. They specialize in tailor-made risk management solutions for customers' insurance needs.
In a shocking incident on September 13, 2023, over 30 criminals launched a carefully planned attack on Tokyo Aerodrome, causing extensive damage to the terminal, passengers' facilities, and offices. They gained access by tampering with Gate 10's lock, overpowering security personnel in the process. Fortunately, swift police intervention contained the situation, leading to the temporary closure of the airport for investigations. A notice to airmen was issued, but has now been updated, indicating the airport is clear for operations again. In regional news, a major Australian university has revealed some artifacts in its Classics Museum were stolen from Italy, with one likely smuggled out in bundles of pasta. The Australian National University says several of the items are more than 2,000 years old, and it's agreed to return them to Italy.
The pride of the ANU Classics Museum is this rare amphora.
It dates from around about 530 BCE, so it's over 2,500 years old. It's a very special piece.
So it came as a shock when Italian authorities told them it had been stolen before the university bought it in good faith in 1984.
You have, for example, in Italy, the tombaroli, literally tomb robbers, but these are illegal excavators who source material for dealers.
The ANU opened up its catalogue to Italian officials, and they discovered another piece the university bought in the 80s had been smuggled out by a key player in the illegal antiques trade.
David Holland Swingler, who was a food exporter, and what he'd do is he'd source illicit material from Italy and smuggle it out of Italy amongst Italian foods.
The university has since discovered a mystery third item it bought from a British broker in the 60s that was originally stolen from a Vatican collection in Rome.
So how an object that came from a museum that shut in 1970 ended up in an Australian collection in 1968, we really don't know.
Once a specialist art squad within the Italian military proved the ownership of the items, the ANU agreed to return them. However, the Italians have allowed this piece to remain at the university for another 4 years. A special piece of history that will eventually find its way home.
About 17 million kina is said to have been budgeted for the forthcoming Pacific Games in the Solomon Islands and PNG Games in Port Moresby in November and December respectively. 12 million kina will go to the Pacific Games, and the remaining will be used to finance the long-awaited PNG Games. A portion of the remaining 5 million kina was used in assisting athletes representing the country in Trinidad and Tobago events. With this significant amount of money made available, PNG Sports Foundation Chief Executive Officer Albert Veretau says PNG is expecting good results from its athletes. Veretau said although PNG has won the PNG Games before, the country expects a win in the Pacific Games outside of PNG. PNG won the Pacific Games in 2015 when it hosted the event in Port Moresby. Minister for Sports Don Paulier said athletes should not worry about finance. Instead, they should be focusing on their preparation for the event. Melbourne Storm plays Sydney Roosters in the semi-final match of the Australian Rugby League this evening at the ME Park, Melbourne. The winner proceeds on to play Penrith Panthers in the preliminary final next weekend. the loser bows out of the competition. Both sides look under strength with a handful of their players ruled out of the match due to injuries, the recent one being Melbourne Storm halfback Jerome Hughes. This is a crucial blow for the Victorian team, and the expectation will be on their superstar 5'8" Cameron Munster to lead the team to victory. The Roosters, on the other end, will be struggling to fill in the void left by Joseph Manu. Joey Manu is such a talented player that can break the game open, and to do it in Melbourne is a tough ask. Meanwhile, the Newcastle Knights plays New Zealand Warriors in New Zealand on Saturday for another semi-final match. Thanks for watching. Join us at 6 tonight for more.
Favorite supers are taking over. Power up with Teen Titans Go, Mekamoto, and 50-50 Heroes.